Welcome to my house.
Officially in Court's office for the first time.
It feels really weird that we can't see us right now, so I'm flipping this because it just makes me nervous.
Dude,
Whenever.
this is like our third consistent podcast where we're filming literally the day before.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been bad. Guys, we've been so busy. We're getting domesticated too. We're no longer in the wild.
I know, literally, I'm doing chores 24/7. I go to work,
Bro.
I come home,
I
I
do
work
chores.
again.
Do more chores, and then I work more.
Yeah.
I played Fortnite last night, which was a wild experience because I haven't played Fortnite in like a year. And not actually. Well, 8 months. 8 months. But like, it felt so wrong because I was like, what chores do I need to be doing right now?
I so relate. Like, literally, yeah. Like, I finally have, like, my dream studio. Like, I just got my keyboard.
Yeah.
And, like, all this other stuff. And I literally am never in it. Like, I come home, and then it's like, there's always stuff to be done.
Like, oh, time to clean stuff. Time to fix the roof. Time to fix the dishwasher. Time to move out fridges.
Yeah.
Swap fridges.
I was thinking about that. Like, there's so many things. Like, flying my drone, one of my favorite things in the world to do.
Gone.
I haven't flown that in months, probably.
Right.
But this Saturday, I'm hoping to bring it out. We'll break it out. So.
Marriage is awesome, though.
No, it's fantastic. I cannot overhype enough how great marriage is. Like, it's literally like you have your best friend, and like you always have like someone to talk to, always someone to do stuff with. Like, come on.
But even better, the Magic Lantern update. Let's get into it.
Dude,
so
the Magic Lantern
okay,
is crazy.
So Magic Lantern.
Is it new though? Because it's been around for a while.
No. It's way old.
Yeah.
It's way old. But there's a new firmware version.
Okay.
So basically, if you don't know what Magic Lantern basically, if you don't know what Magic Lantern is like this third-party software that's like open source that is specifically, from my understanding, for Canon cameras.
Yeah.
And so it's used, like, they put it a lot on the 5D and 6D and 7D back when they wanted to use it for more like production work. And so I have had this old SL2, Rebel SL2, sitting in a backpack. Oh, speak of the devil. It's literally in that closet. But yeah, I've had that camera sitting, and now it's no longer obsolete because I'm going to update it to Magic Lantern, and it's now going to be able to shoot raw video.
I'm so curious to see like how it comes out.
Yeah, we have to
This is what I'm thinking of.
okay.
But you keep talking about yours and I'll bring it up.
We have to like do like a comparison test or something, because basically Magic Lantern just opens up your camera's capabilities to where basically every camera brand is trying to make their camera as reliable as possible. And then Magic Lantern, honestly, I don't think they really care about that. I think they're just trying to get the most out of your camera as humanly possible.
I think so.
So like if you look it up, it's actually mad interesting because like the M50s, dude, they can do 14-bit RAW.
I have two M50s.
What?
At Ashmore.
Oh yeah, but you don't own them, so
No,
I
but-
wouldn't screw with them.
Yeah, no, heck
But
no,
you should
bro.
get one, even though the lenses suck.
Yeah.
And then you should mess with it because you can do like 8K or like 6K or something on it, which is insane. Which is not important at all because think about it. Like, are you with me?
I am.
You're too dialed into your
Well, okay,
your
so
next
what
topic.
we're talking no, it connects to this.
Okay.
So because he's talking about Magic Lantern, but
Yeah.
when he said Magic Lantern, what I was thinking of was Arsenal,
Okay.
which is this basically it's this thing that you put on top of your camera. It's like a separate device. It looks like a battery pack you plug in, but it
Yeah, it
acts as like
does.
the brain for your camera. Which like this gets in the whole thing like, oh, is AI okay in cameras? This actually, when people like AI camera, that's exactly what this is. So this has deep color software. So literally the same photo, but one is using that software plugged into the camera. Humongous difference.
Do you know about infrared stuff with cameras? So basically every camera comes with like an infrared filter that blocks out infrared light from hitting your camera. And so many people have been buying old vintage cameras and popping out the infrared filter, and then all of a sudden you have an infrared camera, which means you can shoot like your trees turn like red.
That is wild.
And it shows like all these different colors, which is whack. You should look that up because it's actually kind of insane. But yeah, Magic Lantern, I'm definitely excited to play around with it. What is a little scary is like it could fully brick my camera.
Yeah.
Like it could just
Dude, I am like so curious about it's $299 to like test this. So basically, also what it does is so this thing. So you know you can do like photo stacking.
Yeah.
It does all of that with the press of a button. It does it for you.
That's
so you
beautiful.
don't have to go in afterwards and like do that kind of stuff.
It's actually so nice.
And if you want to do like panoramas, it'll do it for you in camera.
That's totally worth $299.
I think so, but like
Maybe not for you.
it's like look at what he's doing with this panorama shot. It fills in the entire thing.
I have seen that actually. That's so
Like
sick.
it's actually wild.
That makes no sense to me. Oh
And
my
then,
gosh.
But that's when it comes to like when the camera's doing that much work for you. It's like
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, because like
you?
think about a panoramic camera on film.
yeah,
Like, dude, I saw this one guy. He made a pinhole camera, and do you know what a pinhole camera? Is? Okay, yeah. So he poked a hole in a cardboard box, and then he put a roll of film. He took all the film out of it, and here I have these negatives right here, for example. So he took the roll of the film out of the roll of film, and then he like cut it into fourths. So then he laid like each fourth out into the cardboard box and then took it all as one picture at one time. So he took an entire roll of film shot at one exposure. And so like the shots were like separated up because there's like obviously gaps in
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck. We hold this. There's little gaps in between like the film strips where he cut them, but he exposed an entire roll of film all at once, and it looked sick. These are my this is my first roll of negatives that I've ever gotten back from the photo lab.
those are actually
So they're kind of precious.
You gotta frame those.
I don't know. I kind of want to like keep them safe forever
Yeah,
and like put them in a little binder. You know how Pokemon nerds do that?
yeah.
I'm gonna become a Pokemon nerd with my film negatives. This also has my address on it, so I don't want to.
Flash the entire.
Yeah.
I feel like I did that on one of mine a long time ago.
Yeah, that's why I had a bunch of mail on my desk, and I like immediately was like, 'cause
Okay. I have a topic.
Okay.
So, I work at a law firm, and so we've been working a lot on like.
Also, I've never seen you wear flip flops in your life. This is really weird.
I'm a
for
dad
me.
now. I mean, not a dad. Oh my gosh, I'm just married husband.
Yeah.
Holy cow. But so I work at a law firm, and so we're really revamping our social media now because obviously, like law firm, you have to be more like personality. That's what I've been driving.
Right.
And so there's this trend going around on social media that's like, it's like you basically have a clip of your social media intern, and he brings like the boss
Right.
out. He's like, "All right, clap." And it's like the caption,
Oh,
the caption
yeah.
is like, "We take social media super seriously" or whatever. When you clap, it's like this like little tiny girl.
cheerleader?
Yes. So I made that for the firm, and I can't post it because people would get offended. Which like yes, some people might because they think she's special needs. But it's like, is that okay for businesses to post? Because it's doing good for other businesses like on social media. Like, it's like getting millions of views right now.
I think yes. So, I also know people who've gotten in serious trouble for posting stuff on behalf of their company or business or whatever, and it's always the dumbest stuff.
Yeah.
Like if I can't tell you all the things that I've posted that like have gotten taken down. I'll tell you later, but like it's always for the dumbest
No,
reason.
but also it's like I feel like businesses like you kind of have to understand like the dumb stuff goes viral
every
like,
time.
It's the good. That's the good stuff.
That's
you
why
know?
we have a podcast because we're both dumb.
Yes, like
It's
and
perfect.
you have to like. There's so many like little things like that that are just like funny, and like when you're trying to corner like the business side of Instagram / TikTok, which like corporates like people don't want to follow a logo, they want to follow people.
Yeah.
And so if you just keep posting like the same generic educational infographics, like you're not going to build a following. Like no one cares.
So like, what do you think about the whole shooting things on an iPhone thing because it makes people not think it's an ad?
I've actually, so I just, everything I do for the law firm now is just iPhone, and actually I kind of love it.
Really?
It makes my job, I used to be so anti like CapCut or editing stuff in Instagram. Now I've been doing that for them strictly. For us, I edit in Premiere still, but for their
Yeah.
social media needs, it's perfect because
If I found out you edited in CapCut, I'd be so mad.
no, but okay, a hot take: CapCut captions are better than Premiere captions.
I can believe it.
Like,
I mean, I've only heard bad things about Premiere captions, and I've only heard good things about CapCut captions.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
but yeah, I would say like it definitely makes it easier.
Which, following that logic, I need to switch to DaVinci.
I've been thinking the same thing recently. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of canceling all my subscriptions, and I got to my Adobe, and I was like, I could just pay for Lightroom
Why are you paying for it?
because at work, we have too many devices and we only pay for 2 devices. So for my personal stuff, I keep my, and plus I didn't want my.
Oh, right. Okay, word. I forget about that side of things.
So, but I'm like, if I switch to DaVinci, I just pay like what, $241 time.
Yeah, I think it's $299 once.
Yeah, and then I'm good, and then I just pay for Lightroom.
And you get Autopod for free.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, which is goated.
And like their color space is apparently so nice.
I would have to learn nodes, but I think I'm willing to do that for the cheaper price.
I mean, with the amount of YouTube tutorials out right now and the amount of stuff that we've had to learn in the past that we've been able to just pick up.
And I think it might even elevate the way that like, I tell stories as well, because when I'm learning, you're like growing and getting better, and I feel like not that like obviously I've not mastered Premiere in any sense, but like I definitely like kind of plateaued a little bit where I've like stopped learning, just kind of gotten into my groove. Whereas I feel like learning a new software would like continue to grow my skills.
That's actually a really good point. Man, every time I talk to people, they're convincing me to switch to DaVinci. So, DaVinci.
Like I feel like you just can't. Like surely I really only see benefits. Like yeah, would it be like maybe harder to edit? Maybe, but it's like if you can like know DaVinci and Premiere, it's like I'm not gonna lose my knowledge of Premiere. And then it's like say I'm working a project.
I don't know. You might.
I mean, Premiere's like. I mean, I don't want to say just like iMovie, but because I've learned it now, it just feels like so, you know.
Yeah, it is really easy.
It's like, and they literally like, I don't know. Like I don't think I would lose the ability to like know where everything is. Now, the interesting thing about DaVinci is like it calls things different things than Premiere does.
That's true.
So like when you're dealing with like, it's not midtones, it's like gamma or whatever. I don't know which is which, but.
Bro, that stuff makes me mad. Yeah. What even is a gamma, dude?
I don't know.
Like,
that's what DaVinci's going to teach me.
That's the point of like, people are like, oh, you got to learn the gammas. And like, I'm like, my brother, what's a gamma? Also, okay, you've been carrying around this ball all night. What is like?
It's just one of the balls in the firm that we give to people, but I like to have something to fidget with. And
I can tell.
I really like ball. I mean, I like fidgeting like fidget balls.
Yeah. I mean, man, fidget toys are the best.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Magic Lantern. So, okay, yeah. Oh, you needed to talk about the experience you had with the wedding filmer.
Okay, so I just was in a wedding, and there's a guy shooting the wedding, and I'm like, he was shooting with like a Ronin gimbal and like a huge monitor on top. Like that thing was heavy. Like it made me be like, thank God I have a Steadicam, because like you know like when people are like, this will be on camera, but when they're holding it and they're not strong enough, so like they're pushing it into like their pelvis. Right. I'm like, at that point, you have too much weight on that, so break it down or get a Steadicam. Yes. Like you should never be having to use your hips to support the weight of what you're carrying on your gimbal. I don't know, that's just what I think, in my opinion. But so he was shooting on that. He had like a Sony A7, I don't know, some A series camera. And then he had 3 cameras. Then he had a Nikon,
which is wild for video.
Which is crazy. And then he had a GH5. A Lumix,
which like you're not only that, you're mixing full frame crop sensor.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking that color grade is gonna be filthy. Yeah. Trying to match all of those like native colors
on a stable, because like the hardest part is when you're filming, because you can match day and night with B-roll. Like who cares? You can match all the time with B-roll. When you're shooting 3 static shots, trying to match that, bro, like you might as well just quit. Because some people even complain like the difference between the Arri Alexa 35 and like the Alexa 265 or the Alexa LF, like they don't color grade the same. And I'm like, bro, or like they'll say the R5C doesn't color the same as the R5, or like the R6 doesn't color the same as the R6 Mark II. I'm like, bro, like if you're complaining about that, then imagine some dude who's shooting on 3 different budget cameras. Like what are we doing?
It's like at that point. So I'm really curious to see how the video comes out. I will be keeping an eye out. I will say he was very like good with people, which at least made me happy.
That's
like,
awesome.
If like you're gonna be working with like I don't want to say budget gear, but like that kind of a gear, it's like you need to be at least provide a good customer experience, which he did a great job at.
Yeah, that's good. That might be why they hired him. So maybe. That's really all that matters.
Yeah. I can't say the same for the photographer.
Tough. Wait, actually?
I just realized like there's just different types of people, and honestly it made me look introspective at myself, because I'm also one of those people that like I don't always feel like I'm okay with awkward silence, and then I just realized at this wedding that I was like, no, I need to be way more vocal and to make sure like my clients are like enjoying themselves.
Yeah. Have you gotten your wedding photos back?
We got sneak peeks.
Okay. Let me know when you get your wedding photos
Okay.
back.
But actually the sneak peeks look like they're actually gorgeous.
Yeah, they do.
So I was happy.
But like,
but there's a couple though. Yeah. Anyways, okay. That brings up such a good topic, and I don't know if my wedding
man,
photographer.
I'm so glad I said that. Then
I don't know if my wedding photographer is gonna see this, and I'm in no way like judging you. Like this is genuinely a question, but she posted on her personal page
before you posted.
No. This is completely separate. She posted on her personal portfolio page pictures that I know for a fact that her seconds took of me.
That's
and they
allowed.
made her post.
Yeah, that's allowed.
It is?
Yeah. So the second is allowed to only post their photos. And generally you have to tag the photographer you shot for. So it'd be like shot for so-and-so. But then the first photographer can do whatever they want.
See,
because they hired you.
I don't know how I feel, but I would never post my seconds work because it's like not.
In my opinion, could be. I mean, for the next 2 weddings I'm shooting, I'm hiring someone way better than me. So I'm not always saying this is the case, but subpar.
Like I say that now, maybe I would though, because I will say her second was definitely more experienced than a second usually is. And because they were a little bit late, they had to divide and conquer. So like, he did like all the flat lays, all of my photos. So it's like I don't know if it wasn't that she didn't get a chance to be with me and the grooms, and so there's like they were just using those.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just something interesting. And I was like, dang, like, well, I've shot with a lot of seconds, and I just would never post their work.
I just feel like I never am leaving people on their own, ever.
Yeah. Well, just besides the ceremony, I usually have my second with me.
Right, but in the ceremony, like I feel like you're pretty much so it's different when I've shot with a girl as this is the first shooter. And so like she'll go to the bridal suite, I'll go to the groom suite cuz I just connect with the guys.
Yeah.
And not a better way, but a different way. Then she'd connect with the guys and then maybe we'd swap. So like that's really the only time that like you really take your eyes off your second shooter. It's like you should be able to kind of look across the room and be like, oh, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, I'm about to go do the first look. Will you grab a bunch of like bridesmaids photos? And it's like, okay, cool. So like there should be like assignments.
That was also an interesting thing that I had never seen before. The photographer and her second were running like they had earpieces in.
Yeah, I did like that a lot.
Yeah.
They had
that was
walkie-talkies, which like I think that's a new thing. Like
Yeah.
that should be implemented more. It is quite tacky, I must say.
Yeah.
Like it's very tacky. But if you can do it well, because so
It's efficient. I can't contest.
the reason I say it's tacky is they had like the ones that you would get on like for free with your walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Not like the clear one that goes in your ear that's not as noticeable. They had like these big black ones that would look like if like
earbuds that you pull the thing up.
like
to.
a Cinemark
Yeah.
person would be wearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the vibe.
I will say though.
Also, wedding photographer attire. That was really challenged at your wedding.
What they were wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really a wedding.
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like usually it's just a given, but I don't know.
And I feel like you need to blend in a little more than they
Yeah.
did. They like
Well, I will
wasn't
say-
that guy wearing a huge hat?
Yeah.
Like, is that something you do?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it depends on your personality. Like, if it's probably in their brand, you can probably guess. And, like, you can also just, like, look at someone and be like, I know what they're going to wear, you know? Like,
That's true.
This
The main issue for me was they showed up late.
That was mine, too. But I think,
Like, you don't do that.
yeah.
You show up an hour early. Everyone knows that.
I always show up early, and that's just, like, me. Like,
Sit in your car, watch TikTok.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, literally. Or I can, like, knock out some edits
Clean
in my
your
car
lens.
beforehand. Or, yeah.
Great. Don't be late.
Make
If
sure-
you're on time, you are late. If you're on time to my wedding at the time that you're like, oh, like if you are not in the venue at the time that you said you were going to be there, why did I hire you? Like, genuinely. That
Yeah.
is so messed up.
I know. I completely agree with that. I'm trying to think of, like, other, like, vendors wise that, like, no, I feel like every vendor needs to be early. Like, there's really no exception.
Yeah, there's no excuse to be late to a wedding. There's not. You know about the wedding. Like, I don't care how many weddings you've done. If it feels like a job that you are so good at that it's like a 9-to-5 job where it's like, who cares if I am late? Bro, it's the best day of someone's life sometimes. Yeah. So why, like, don't be late. And if you are late all the time, then convince yourself that you already are late when you're, like, early.
Yeah.
That's the easy fix to that.
That is what I have done. Cause like when I have to wake up early, I have built in to where I have to show up on time. Cause I wake up so much earlier now.
Right. I wake up so much earlier than I need to be. Today I woke up at 5:45 for 7 a.m. call time.
Yeah.
That's
I wake up
arguably unneeded.
I have a 9:30 call time, and I wake up at like 7:45.
And I know like it's different for girls because like y'all have to get ready in different ways than we do. But like my brother, like what are we doing?
It's a choice.
How are you late in 2025? Genuinely, it's not that hard.
Have you seen that? Like people are complaining. Like our generation apparently complains about like times, and that we have to live within like being on time because it's like not. It just doesn't cater to their needs as a generation or something. You haven't seen that news story? It's like Gen Z like hates like showing up on time, and like they think that they shouldn't have to.
You were late to dinner tonight, and like it could have screwed things up.
Yeah.
So like Luke was late. Well, it wasn't his fault. So there were two things. There were two instances. Like Luke was late to dinner, but he texted saying he was going to be late to dinner, but it wasn't his fault that he was late to dinner. But then he was late to the time that he said he would be there. So, like, I had waited to cook dinner until it was perfectly hot, like, ready to be plated when they walked in the door at 7:30. He arrived at, like, 7:40 or 7:42 or whatever. So the food was, like, not piping hot, like Ruth Chris style, where they got the sizzle or whatever. So, like, there are things that are affected by... Not to rip you. Like, it's fine. The food was amazing anyways.
So good.
So, like, who cares? But, like, at a wedding, think about how many more things are compounded by your tardiness. You know?
Yeah.
And I know someone in my office is watching this and is like, you're late to work all the time. I'm actually not. Just think about that. I actually stay until, like, 8 p.m. all the time. Or like 9 p.m. on Wednesdays or 10 p.m. on Wednesdays and 4 p.m. on Sundays. So I'm not actually late. I am actually arriving when I want to be there. And I am, I know there's been some meetings where I'm like, oh, hey, like I pop in like 5 minutes late. Don't worry. It was because I was uploading and someone helped me up. So like if you're watching this and you're at my office and you're like, Court's always late. I'm actually not.
That is kind of
a princess is never late. Is it? What is that from Princess Diaries? A queen is never late.
Know.
Everyone else is simply early. A photographer is never late.
That's also the thing. Like once you realize you hit the workforce, like I mean, I guess it depends on your job, but like
yeah. If you're someone whose boss is like show up at 9, and you're not there at 8:50 or 8:55, you're late.
Yeah, like it's like but there's also like other jobs where it's like show up at 9. You show up at like 9:10. You just stay till 8. You stay 10 minutes late.
Like that is. I'm not saying this is a prescription for everyone, but like wedding photographers.
Yeah.
Like what you signed up for.
That's a big one.
That is like the main thing. Is like guys, like get it together.
So
all right, we gotta take our break.
Okay.
Let's take our break and then we'll get back after it. Wait. Also, you had a topic before we left. What was it?
I did.
Yeah, you were gonna say something and I totally cut you off.
I totally don't remember.
Okay, great, easy.
Come on.
Oh!
And it's come to that time, the time of the podcast, to reread your spicy comments.
Yeah, your idiotic takes.
Okay. First hot take.
Uh-oh.
Most Hasselblad shooters care more about being photographed with the camera than what they shoot with it.
Valid viewpoint.
I mean,
but like, no. I just feel like okay, that's crazy.
I mean, if someone gave me a Hasselblad right now, the first thing I would say is someone take my picture.
Change my profile picture immediately. Yeah. I mean, so it's hard because I don't know any Hasselblad shooters personally.
I've only seen them on social media.
I've only seen them on social media showing their camera off.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's interesting because the Hasselblad thing, like, that's not a camera for everyone. Yeah. Whether you have an unlimited amount of money or not, that is just simply not a camera for everyone. It's not a camera for every situation in any way. They've never made a camera that's fit for every situation in any way. That's what the R6 is for.
Come on.
Genuinely, that is a camera for every situation. Minus like slow-mo.
Yeah.
And I guess, but even then, heavy printing, like, it can handle.
Yeah.
It really can. So, I mean, if you're looking for an all-around camera, Hasselblad is not for you. But for those specific people who do want to be photographed and have it in their picture profile, it's a great camera to have. So, what do you think about like their like? Would you ever have a Hasselblad? Like, what would you shoot on it? Because portraits,
So many prints. If I had a Hasselblad, I would be broke because I would print all my photos.
Yeah, like who cares how rich you are if you have a Hasselblad? I literally print every single thing I shoot and hang it up.
Like my house would be covered. Like
I'd have to buy a bigger house just to fit all my prints.
I'd have to buy like a place just to build a gallery for myself.
Yeah. That honestly, if you own a Hasselblad, your ego is probably through the roof because you're just taking bangers all the time.
Yeah, you gotta like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of the worst takes I've ever heard. Like I genuinely don't know how this exists, but Canon is the Apple. Canon is the Apple of the camera world. Safe, clean, and completely unexciting. I would say Sony's way more like Apple than Canon ever is. In terms of like build.
I just do not know like what to think about that because everyone's like Sony's better, Sony's better, Sony's better. I would say I agree because think about the PC people who like Canon's great for creators. Sony's good for technicians. Same with Apple PC versus PCs.
I say that, but also, okay, I would say so. Like technology wise, Sony is closer to Apple, but as a user fan base, Canon users are way more like Apple users than Sony is more like Samsung users.
Yeah.
But technology-wise, I would differentiate them.
Why?
Like, okay, so because Samsung shooters are always like, oh my gosh, Samsung's so much better and no one can get on the trend.
But Canon technically with tech specs is not better than Sony. But
that's what I'm saying.
But Canon's not better than Sony with tech specs.
That's what I'm saying. I think Sony's better, but Samsung is better than Apple.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. Like Sony is to Samsung as Canon is to Apple, is correct.
That's what I'm saying. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do agree with the statement?
Wait, no, I don't because. Oh yeah, I totally do.
Yeah, because think about it. Like Apple doesn't have the greatest specs, but their user experience is through the roof. Samsung has the best specs, but their user experiences has to be customized in order for it to be enjoyable.
Yeah, and I agree. And the communities totally mirror each other as well.
Right.
Okay, good take. Dang, I thought it was the worst take, and I agree with you. So, Sony users act like autofocus is a personality trait. Yes, it tracks eyeballs in the dark, but it doesn't make everything meaningful.
Let's give a shout out to all our Blackmagic people out there who are just bumming it with no autofocus.
No autofocus.
Like, I know they're implementing it right now, but God bless y'all, because where would I be without autofocus?
Autofocus literally makes my life great.
10 times easier.
I will say, as a photographer, yes.
For what I shoot.
I will say, the more I find myself, the more video that I do, the less I use autofocus.
Right. Especially with these new lenses. Like, yeah, we're building into that, like, manual focus lifestyle. But, like, we're not afraid of manual focus in any way. But autofocus,
it's just great.
So nice, yeah.
Like because I'll say just autofocus in general. When I shot on my T7i and I did concerts, I probably get like 1 in 6 usable photos that I liked.
Really?
Well, like that I would post.
Oh, right.
And then once I go to R6, it probably like it's a 50-50 shot if it's.
Well, that's the new meme is like mirrorless people are just like.
Yeah.
And DSLRs are like.
Yeah.
Like
let me make sure to focus and then click. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why people use back button focus. Have you heard of that?
I love back button focus.
You use it?
Yeah, I use it for wildlife. You have to, because whenever I went out with my 300mm and I was shooting birds, you like focus on the back and then click it.
Why?
So basically, when you set your shutter, so say I wanted say the bird's like looking this way and I'm trying to track the eyes.
Yeah.
I have to be able to reset my autofocus like faster than if I was.
Do you not just hold the button down? Because that's what I do.
No, because I have
and
it
set.
set.
And it tracks with the green.
No, because I don't want it tracking all the time. So say like I'm shooting a wildlife, I know like I'm gonna want it here. I just back button focus it right until I get it there, and then I don't want it to focus again when I press my shutter. Like I don't want it to autofocus again.
Right, but I think
set
you
it
can
already.
Stop that.
I don't know. I just remember
crazy.
I was watching. I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but if you watch any wildlife photography on YouTube, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The old guy with like shorter hair, and he like does a whole video on back button focus, and it's really good. Go watch it.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. I'll have to look that up. Dude,
yeah, I
also
guarantee you.
Fire Flick. Am I in that one?
Yeah, everyone should be.
Dude, I'm making like the EU
Come
face though.
on.
I'm like, ooh. That's hilarious.
Sneak peek of the wedding.
Yeah.
Okay. Nikon is the BlackBerry of cameras, loved by purists, ignored by everyone else.
Yeah.
I think yes.
And also revolutionary for the time.
Yes.
Much like the BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Because like if you look back at Nikon, their lenses have been tried and true all the time, just like that dang flip keyboard. Like that thing revolutionized smartphones for so many businessmen and professionals the same way that Nikon revolutionized so many things for so many professionals. Like there's a reason people still shoot on the D850 and D750. It's like they're good cameras. They're sturdy. Those things are weatherproofed out the wazoo. And so you can't hate on it. But just for photo.
Yeah. I just feel like they're great tools, but they didn't really follow the cultural movement.
That is like I feel like you're getting a DeWalt grade camera when you switch to Nikon.
Yeah.
Cuz it's like bang, like you can use that thing as a hammer. Yeah. And it'll be okay.
It's like they invented the VHS and then streaming services came out and they were like, "Nah, like we can stick with the VHSs." And it's like
that's a good point cuz VHS is technically more reliable.
Yeah.
Because the tape lasts longer. Like you'll keep your image on that VHS longer than you will
a streaming service.
Well, streaming service quality, you're losing quality.
Yeah.
But like discs so bad all the time, except like M discs.
The amount of times I would scratch my favorite movie as a kid.
Oh my gosh.
Unreal.
Makes me so angry. I'm so careful with my movies. I'm a nerd.
To all the Fujifilm shooters, slapping a classic chrome on a flat image doesn't make it art.
Dude, I don't even know what a classic chrome is.
I don't know either. I don't shoot Fuji.
I like that. I know that's like a emulation and like a preset kind of deal. I don't get what.
Wait, is Fuji like you can't shoot RAW? It's just JPEG.
So there's some interesting developments with it. So you can shoot both RAW and JPEG, especially on the X100V, the XT5, stuff like that. They just released the Fuji half frame camera, and you can pick. This is actually mad interesting. You might like it. So do you know what a half frame camera is?
I'm assuming it's just half of a full frame.
No. Well, so back in the day, like you would get twice out of your roll for the money by splitting your 35 mil in half. So, but therefore it becomes a vertical image normally. Yeah. So you're shooting horizontal, getting a vertical image. So then on top of that, it's a smaller deal. The camera's $800, which is not cheap, I must say.
I mean, it's also not the top of the price point either, though.
No, not at all. But like for what it does, that's kind of expensive. Okay. Like you would hope it'd be $500.
Yeah.
So you're getting a half frame camera, which is like nostalgic. Then you're getting the Fuji shooting experience, which is like fun travel vacation-y vibes. Then you can do the film emulation the same as what's it called? But then it adds this thing called film camera mode. You can pick if you want to do 36, 72, or like 100 something exposures. And then you pick your, what's it called? Your preset, like your film emulation.
Like ISO
and you're only allowed to shoot on that film emulation for the rest of that roll. So like you pick 36 exposures and then you pick your preset. You're only allowed to shoot that film preset with those 36 frames, and then it resets. And I think it might be to where you can't see them as well until you're finished with the whole roll.
Like that's, I don't know, like maybe a hot take, but that sounds really dumb to me. Like just buy a film camera.
Yes and no. So the other thing that I've come to realize is how much I've spent on my full frame camera stuff or my DSLR.
Yeah.
When I could be spending that money on film.
Yeah.
So it's like an interesting game because you're losing money up front versus losing money in the long run. So it's like, which do you pick? And if you look at my lifestyle, I'm much more a spend it all right now. Like I'm much more a cash person. But
yeah,
you got to admit, like there is some argument for still shooting film and it not being that expensive anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Blackmagic cameras are indie filmmakers' gateway drug to burnout. I could see that because you're like, you shoot all manual focus. Your color grading is like an intense color grade every time. And if you're just starting out, like, you're getting like 14 views.
Yeah. And you're spending so long.
Yeah. Like everything you make would take a lot longer.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, in a way it preserves the magic of like indie filmmaking. Because when things are easy, they're automatically a little bit better because you got to put in effort. I don't know. Maybe that's a bold assumption. I just can't agree with that one.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. Panasonic shooters. No one is impressed by your perfect waveform. We just can't see your shallow depth of field.
I don't even know much about their perfect
It's
waveform.
because it's micro four thirds.
So you can you have no dynamic range.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So you're literally just like of course your waveform's perfect.
Yeah.
There's no information in your sensor.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like it's like yeah. But then they think they're like being like rebellious by going like micro four thirds team, but it's like I don't know. I've never heard anyone serious like actually argue that micro four thirds is better. It's always a compromise for me.
It's definitely a compromise. So like I thought about micro four thirds today because I was like, what if I could have like a small Pelican case that I could carry everywhere that had like everything that I'd ever need for filmmaking in it.
Yeah.
The only way to really achieve that is micro four thirds.
Yeah.
But that's just not worth it.
It's not at that point.
Because like what greedy man is going to need every lens you'd ever need in one travel case?
Yeah.
You know, like at that point, just get like a 24-70 and a 70-200 and call it a day.
And a 16. Yeah.
Yeah, but like if one was to go for me,
Yeah.
it's definitely that one.
Definitely.
I don't have it. Case
That's
in
fair.
point.
Dude, I will say it's probably actually the lens. The lens, if I were to rank, I have like my trinity of lenses right now is the 70-200, 24-70, and the 16. But I probably use the most 24-70, then the 16, then the 70-200.
I use the 70-200 more than anything.
Really?
Way more. The only thing is it's heavy as crap.
I've found myself using my 300 more than my 70-200 just because I static it off. Because I don't always, when I'm shooting that far, I usually don't need to zoom.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know.
Yeah, you can just back up. You're already so far back. Who cares?
Yeah. All right. I kind of hate that one.
What is that cinematography like? Oh, that
iPhone cinematographers brag about 10-bit video like it makes up for sensor size.
That's so facts.
That's
The
so
other
true.
thing is driving me nuts right now. Everyone bragging about their sensor size upgrades, but then it's like 1 over like and I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to do math right now to figure out how tiny your sensor is compared to mine. Like, let's be real. It's just
I mean, size does matter, so that's my take.
like on sensors, 100%. Like the larger, like the sensor, it's objectively in a way better.
Yeah.
Generally.
Okay, this is a good one actually. Red shooters act like ProRes is beneath them, but most of their I gotta restart. For the rule, I gotta say it better, guys. Red shooters act like ProRes is beneath them, but most of their footage ends up compressed on YouTube anyway. You're not filming the Reverend, bro. You're filming a product B-roll in your garage.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you look at MKBHD who uses red, and I don't understand his workflow in any way.
Because it's going to get compressed anyways.
Bro, he's using RAW. So it's like, okay, awesome. You're using RAW. You're holding with one top handle, like on your red camera, which, dude, goated guy. And I get you have the freaking robot camera and everything. But, like, how does that incorporate into your workflow in any way that's, like, that helpful? Because is he keeping all that footage? He has to be. Because if you're shooting on something that high quality and you're not keeping the footage, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? Because it's not for longevity, which is the only reason that you should be shooting 8K or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's either for longevity or screen size. That's the only reasons you need to be shooting 8K. Let's be real here.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to be so real. I like sorted these by like the juiciest ones. And I skipped over all the good ones. So all the ones we just did are like not. We're about to get.
I was wondering why we were flopping
yeah,
so hard. I was like,
dang,
where are all the
look,
comments?
you suck. My bad, guys. All right. Photographers who shoot everything wide open aren't stylized. They're just lazy with backgrounds.
That's facts.
I agree. Like, well, you don't
I've
need a
been
blurry
shooting
background.
at f8 a lot recently, and it's changing my life.
Yeah.
I love it.
And honestly, shooting weddings will teach you that because you have to
Group
get more
photos.
people in focus. So your aperture has to be high.
My gosh. Group photos, so important.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to zoom in on themselves and then be like, wait, why does Cassandra look better than
Yeah,
me?
dude. One time I went to do corporate photos for a company, and I like, hadn't done it in a while, and I was so used to just shooting wide open all the time. And I shot like a picture of 5 people at f2.8, people on the ends, totally out of focus.
Yeah.
I was like,
Gone.
dang.
Their nose is just out of the frame.
Yeah, like they were just like the blurry. Like,
Might as
almost,
well not be there.
Yeah, literally. I was like, and like thankfully they didn't notice. Like if you were to like go like look at the website, yeah, you can tell.
Oh no.
Okay, most travel content creators are just rich people cosplaying as nomads.
I can't even. I don't even have anything to say about that because I'm jealous of them.
I mean, I am, because I will say, yeah, I think most. Okay, maybe not most, but there's definitely some travel creators who like are just naturally rich. Like they're not actually making money off of like their travel. I feel like
Yeah.
you would get to a certain point in life and you can just kind of do whatever you want, and that way more power to you, bro. Like go have fun and make a video if you want to. Like I'm all for that.
Yeah. I'm not against that in any way. Who cares if you're faking it? Leica people are too.
Yeah. Okay, shooting on Red or RE doesn't make your wedding video a cinematic masterpiece. It makes you broke with 300 gigabytes of mid footage. That's okay. You
need to work your way up to those cameras. There's no way around it.
I agree, but also if you're shooting a wedding video on a Red camera, you've done something right because you could afford a Red camera and like you're to that point.
Same with Ari, dude. Entry level is like 80 grand on those suckers unless you want to shoot in 1080p.
So like honestly, I disagree with this because if you've gotten to that point, then like I mean, obviously if you're like, just buying your way in immediately and starting.
So many people are nowadays. FX3 dude who shoots on auto.
Okay, I agree.
And now with the Red Komodo 6K being $2,000 or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I get what you're saying, but also it's like the 300 gigabytes is kind of valid.
That is very valid.
But like, I also think hopefully if you're shooting on those systems, you have some skill to not have mid footage.
Right. Especially Ari.
Yeah.
How are you paying that, brother?
For real. Okay. I actually kind of agree with this. Aspiring filmmakers romanticize 90s cinema, but can't write a coherent 3-act script.
Me.
Low-key.
Me, bro. It's hard.
I mean, it definitely is. And, okay, I will say, recently I have been seeing some phenomenal, like, YouTube shorts, like, full, like
short films.
Short films,
Yeah.
but filmed vertically. Or at least I'm assuming. Like, the quality looks like they didn't crop in.
What the heck?
Like, I think they generally made them, like, 4 shorts.
Are you sure that's not the episode app ads?
I hope not, dude.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, make your story?
Yeah.
No, but, like, so I just watched this one, and maybe you've seen it. This guy gets, like, a fortune cookie. Actually, I can't tell. It's a great short film, but I just realized what it's about, and, like, it's totally not
in line with this podcast. Yeah, okay, cool.
But
let's end it there.
There's some great ones. Okay. People obsessed with the grind of daily content are just producing digital junk food. Whoa.
Us.
It's literally coming for our heads, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, I'd like to say we're digital in and out.
Yeah.
We're kind of good.
We're like Kidoba. Like
we're Kidoba. Everyone's second choice for mid content.
It's like content, but it's going to leave you burning a little bit.
And don't worry, we'll give you a little more than the competitors.
Hell yeah. Like, yeah, I think Gordon League is just online Kidoba.
Yeah. Tastes kind of good, but you don't want it every day.
Okay. I don't even know what this is. Lightroom presets are the MLM of photography.
Multi-level marketing. It's like Advocare, like Mary Kay, Vector Knives.
Oh, like pyramid schemes?
Yes.
Lightroom presets are the MLM of photography. Oh, 100%.
Like sell them to someone, remake
100%.
it, sell it to someone, remake it, sell it to someone.
I agree, but it's like you sell it once and then it gets pirated to like 20 people. I've given my presets to so many people.
Don't tell people that. Everyone does it, but
Everyone
the
does it.
Phantom LUTs, I don't know a single person who's bought the Phantom LUTs.
No, I just got them.
If you bought the Phantom LUTs, get more friends.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I hate to say it.
Okay. I only shoot in natural light is often code for I don't know how lighting works. So valid.
Yeah, that was us.
I agree. But like natural light photographers, what are we doing?
And vice versa. Vice versa, though. With flash, only shoot with flash because you don't know how to do natural light. There needs to be a happy medium of everything, and you need to be able to prove yourself. Have you ever heard the thing of, like, if someone's a good artist or a good drawer or whatever, ask them to draw a bird. And if they can't draw a good bird, then they suck. That's the same thing with, like, natural or flash or whatever. Like, if you ask someone to do something and they can't figure it out, it's because they stink.
I
or
agree.
they're lazy and they don't want to do it.
I agree with it, unless like you're literally making like a full living off of whatever you do in the studio. In which case, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Don't ever go and do an actual.
Don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Also, and go draw a bird.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start saying that to people when they beat me in an argument. Like, yeah, go draw a bird.
They're gonna take that so wrong.
Okay, vertical video isn't the future. It's a compromise for short Vertical video isn't the future. It's a compromise for short attention spans.
I agree with the new implementation of LED video walls everywhere. I think like aspect ratios are the future though. I think like random aspect ratios are gonna be very important in years to come.
Hear me out. I totally agree, and literally mark this video so that in 50 years we can come back to it when I predict this exactly right. But like vertical video is
I think I know where you're going with this.
Vertical video is so temporary because there's going to come a point, maybe in the next 20 years, where horizontal video is going to matter. And like what you're saying, random aspect videos are going to matter way more because we're going to be getting ads on walls, like car windshields everywhere.
Yep.
And like we're not going to care about phones anymore because I'm just going to like talk to the room and it's going to pull it up on my wall whenever I want.
And like the meta glasses are not going to pull up a vertical video.
Yeah.
It's going to pull up horizontal. And that's the bottom line.
Like social media is here for now, but I'm telling you, like, there's going to come a point where social media and like other media combine, and it's going to be like short. I think it will always still have like short clips and stuff, but it's not always going to be vertical on a phone. I think it's going to come a point where we get full screen again.
Right, and like the random aspect ratio thing, very much means that shooting in 8K and 12K and 6K are important because you're getting that longevity and you're getting the aspect ratio flexibility,
dude.
Because all of a sudden you shoot wide, you can crop in, and like that is so nice.
The reel, what we just said, is going to be a reel. And that was so big brain. Like, it's actually genius. And I guarantee you it's going to flop so hard on socials. I'm going to be so pissed. Because, like, that was actually, like, I'm telling you that's what's going to happen. And in 20 years, I'm going to, like, post that again.
I was literally imagining, like, what could be an ad? What could be an ad? What could be an ad? And vertical is just not going to be as important as people think. And that's where the emergence of open gate will come in, where the emergence of higher resolutions will come in, where more people will be shooting stuff with guidelines at 12K, so they're shooting vertical and horizontal at the same time. None of that will matter. Anamorphic will come back because it's sick and you can do it on LED walls. It's a good time. Like, we're in a great time right now.
Yeah.
So okay, I mean,
that was good.
I think we end on that.
That was good.
I feel good. I'm sleepy. I need to go to bed.
I like it.
Your fiance needs to get home. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Generally, like, if you make it to this point in the episode, you mean the world to us.
You're
really
actually my favorite
you.
person on earth. You're so handsome.
You're so beautiful. You're such a good photographer. If you've made it to the end of this episode, I can guarantee you you're a good photographer.
I guarantee you will be a millionaire within a year.
Yeah. Press like for $1,000.
Send this to 10 people. You're talking about bad luck for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.